Hi.
Hi yourself.
What are you doing here?
I need to talk to you.
But it's Thanksgiving. You should be home with your family.
I'll be there in time for dinner, Beth. I just need to talk to you. Can you get away for a few minutes?
You could come in. Mama's working the half shift at the hospital, and Bradley just went out to get some groceries. Come on.
Okay.
I saw you with a girl at Mindy's party.
Yeah, Valerie, it's just our first date, you know.
Oh, she seems nice.
You know, she's all right.
You deserve a girl like that. It's good to see you, Rick.
It's really good to see you, too.
So what'd you come here to see me about?
See if you're all right.
Fine.
Beth, look, I know that you and Philip are having troubles.
It's over.
You seemed upset about something in class the other day.
I know you think I'm terrible.
Beth, why would I think anything like that?
Because I hurt you. When I started going out with Philip, and now I've hurt Philip, and he's your best friend. What else would you think?
Oh, Beth, you know as well as I do, there's nothing you can say or do to make me feel bad about you. And the same thing with Philip.
You haven't talked to him since Mindy's party, have you?
No, I haven't. What happened?
He was drunk. And he kept following me around, trying to find out why I wouldn't see him anymore. He tried to hold me. He tried to kiss me. And I scratched him. I scratched his face!
Beth, come on, what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. That's not like you.
The past couple of weeks have been really hard, and I wanted to talk to Philip. I wanted to try to make him understand, but I just couldn't.
Yes, you can, Beth. You can tell him. Talk to him. Tell him. Make him understand.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
My problem, and I have to deal with it.
You mean you can't talk to anybody about this?
There was only one in the entire world who'd understand, it would be you.
Try me. Tell me what's going on, Beth, please. Please. Ignore it, Beth, please.
I better not.
Mindy, well, I hope you're happy with what you've done to Philip. What, are you crazy? Who do you think you are attacking Philip the way you did?
Mindy, please.
Oh, don't you, Mindy, please me, Beth Raines. I've done some tacky things in my life, but nothing that tops what you've done to Philip.
You just cool it, Mindy.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to see how Beth is doing.
Oh, see how Beth is doing? You know, I'm really getting sick and tired of everybody worrying about how Beth is doing. And I'll tell you, if you were any friend to Philip, you'd be over there right now with him instead of listening to Beth's sobbing story.
I am concerned about Beth, and that does not mean I'm not Philip's friend.
Have you seen Philip? Have you seen the side of his face where Beth has gouged him?
I didn't mean to hurt him. I never would.
Well, honey, I hate to say you already did.
Is he going to be all right?
Yes, if you will stay out of his life.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, good, and I'm going to see to it that you have help with it.
All right, that's enough. Go home.
I'm going. But, Beth, just for the record, I want you to know you made a good decision. You were never really right for Philip, and I'm glad you finally figured that out. Bye.
Don't listen to her.
She's right. She's right. Everything she said was true. I've heard Philip. I've heard.
No, don't listen to her. She's just saying that, Beth, because she still cares about Phil. She still loves him.
That's not everything. Philip doesn't understand why I won't see him anymore, and that is what's getting him into so much trouble.
Then why don't you tell him?
But I've thought about it a million times. I mean, I've thought about how, and I just can't. I just can't.
Then why don't you tell me? Beth, you're about to tell me before Minnie got here.
You don't need to get involved in my problems, Rick. Believe me. And neither does Philip. Just go home and have a nice Thanksgiving.
Beth, maybe I can help you.
Nobody can. There can't be anything between Philip and me ever again. If you were his friend, you'd make him understand that. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, I have a lot to be thankful for.
Yes, you do. So do I.
Where is everybody?
Oh, Daddy and Jane are watching the parade on television, and Nola and Quint had a little domestic argument.
Oh, nothing serious, I hope.
Well, serious enough for Nola to take her little Stacy over to 7th Street.
Quint's gonna join him?
No, he's busy. He's brooding in the laboratory.
Well, you seem downright broke up about all this.
Well, it's just that I'm really happy to be spending the holiday alone with you and Daddy and your family.
Darling, Quentin is your brother whether you like it or not. And you just can't turn your back on him.
Well, aren't you the quick change artist? You were the one, don't you remember? You taught me how to get the best of him.
Oh, but that was before.
Before what?
That was before this whole thing started to become serious. I mean, hey, Quentin and Nola, now they're gonna be part of my family.
Oh. Yeah, sure. We all know how delicately you treat your family.
Come on now, we fight a little bit. That's only because they won't listen to what's good for them.
Talk is cheap, Billy Lewis. I'd love to see the look on your face if old H.B. rolled up with some half-breed brother or sister for you.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't put it past them.
I wouldn't either. You wouldn't like it, not one little
Oh,
bit.
darling, contrary. I would welcome them with open arms.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
Even if you had to share your inheritance?
You know, the way I see it, Vanessa, with these two families getting together, there's going to be plenty for everybody.
You can be noble if you want. But I'm never going to be phony with Nola again.
Darling, if that includes being nice to her, you most certainly are. Now, I want you to let Quentin and Nola cool down a little bit, and then I want you to do your darndest.
You're out
See
of
that
your
the
mind.
two of them get back together again.
I will do no such thing.
Vanessa, tell me, has old Billy ever steered you wrong?
Excuse me, Mr. Spaulding.
Come in, Jeff. I appreciate your interrupting your holiday for me.
You made it clear how important this report is, sir. And after my fiasco with Vanessa Chamberlain, let's just say I'm endeavoring to recoup my losses. I think you'll be pleased.
Well, it's thick. But what else would one expect on a dossier on Billy Lewis?
I'm afraid the expense is quite staggering. Airlines, detectives, phone calls, contacts, bribes. Our contacts charge double, triple the usual cost on a probe like this.
Oh, don't worry about that. This report is worth its weight in gold.
You see something, sir?
I certainly do, Jeff. I see Reva Lewis, Billy Lewis's ex-wife. And what an ex-wife she is.
Yeah.
Reva Lewis, my secret weapon.
You're planning on using Billy Lewis's ex-wife against him.
Now, why would I do that, Jeff?
Well, if Billy Lewis marries Vanessa Chamberlain, he also marries her shares in this company.
Yes,
That could prove a big threat.
it could.
The former Mrs. Lewis looks capable of giving her ex-husband a hard time, don't you think?
She looks capable of giving any man a hard time.
Particularly for the right price.
Jeff, I'm surprised by your deviousness. Well, Reva, you don't look like a Rhodes Scholar to me.
I wouldn't underestimate her. She must have a mind like a steel trap to get this kind of settlement out of Billy Lewis.
Either that or he was dying to get rid of her.
Ah, yes. Would you be with a woman like this?
I can see what his initial attraction must have been.
She charmed her way into his bank account once. I'm sure she'd be able to do again, if necessary.
Well, that still may be the case. Does she have any other sources of income?
No. And she seems to have developed quite a lot of expensive tastes lately. Maybe it would be a good idea if we had someone contact the ex-Mrs. Lewis.
It would definitely be a good idea.
Great. I'll arrange to fly to Tulsa right away.
Jeff, no. I'll take care of it myself. I'll fly to Tulsa. Reva Lewis is one woman that I'm anxious to meet.
You make the wedding plane?
Well, I have to hurry because January is right around the corner. But I've been to see the dress designer already.
What, you think I'll be able to get it drawn up and all sewed by January?
Oh, well, I have the design. I've had it for a long time. And I got the beautiful antique lace in Brussels and Paris.
Whoa,
and the satin,
Hold on a second. You gonna wear a dress you had made for another man to my wedding?
There was no other man.
Well, then how come you have a dress?
Because I always dreamed there would be. Oh, I know the way that sounds. Here I am, Vanessa Chamberlain. I'm a greedy, selfish businesswoman.
Oh,
I know the way
darling.
people think of me.
You're wonderful. You know what? You're gonna look gorgeous coming down that aisle in that old satin and that antique lace from Paris.
I've been married before. But I've never felt about anybody or anything the way I feel about you.
I love you.
I love you. Have you ever felt this strongly about anybody before?
Well, I told you how I felt about Mindy's mama, but there ain't been anybody since that come close to you.
What about that old second wife?
What about her?
Well, did you love her?
Well, of course well, in the beginning, I thought I loved her.
Oh, you didn't?
Darling, it's over and done with. That's all past history.
Are you sure?
Would I be here if I weren't?
What's she like?
Who?
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Your second wife.
Reva, okay. Reva was a country girl who wanted to grow up to be a rich lady.
Oh, I think I understand. She married you for your money?
She most certainly married me for my money.
Aha. Now I understand why you got so angry when you thought I was temporarily out of funds.
It kind of threw me for a loop. I mean, I wasn't going to let anybody do that to me again.
Wait a minute. Are you sure you're over your feelings for her?
The only feelings I have left are for her lawyer. Believe me, someday I'd love to get my hands on that horse thief.
Oh, I'm so glad we can just be honest with each other.
Me too. And it's going the way it's going to be forever. Say, I want you to tell me about that, what was going on between your brother and your sister-in-law.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that. I mean, it sounds to me like you had a little stake in it.
Well, it all started out when Nola found out about this bargain that I'd made with Quentin.
Oh, you mean the one where you had to be nice to her?
Yeah, don't remind me.
Say, how'd you ever get caught up in that in the first place?
Well, I had to. I had no choice. If I wanted that job at Spaulding, well, that was that. Quentin extracted that horrible promise from me.